Hey everybody, Old Man Crypto here, trying to take the intimidation out of crypto for us old folks and some others. Want to take a quick TNA, speed of TNA on the coins 20 through 30. Take a look at those, give you some information, take a quick look at Bitcoin, take a quick look at my profit trailer that I set up last night on an Ethereum pair, and our Cryptohopper, and see where that stands. A little bit jet lagged right now, back into New York from my European vacation, but I think I got this down. We'll take a look at. Okay, let's take a look at Bitcoin first. That's always the place that we start. You can recognize these trend lines if you watched my other videos. We've got the 1 week on the red. We've got the 24 hours here charting below it. We've got the top trend line here that we're looking at, and then I've added another one, which is this bottom trend on the lows, and it's confirmed at about 10 different spots. So it's it's got some decent confirmations. You can see right now we are sitting at approximately 7,400 bucks on Bitcoin. The MACD is basically flatlined over the weekend, and we're not seeing a lot of indications that it's going to go up from here. Now, a couple things to think about. If you haven't been watching Bitcoin over the weekends or at any length of time, typically on the weekends we do see this kind of action where it starts trailing down, and then on Monday we'll see a rebound. So theoretically tomorrow we'll see a rebound in here somewhere. But if we just look at it today, sitting at about that $7,500 mark, and if we look at the QFT Holdlu or Hoodlu, whatever you want to call it, where our bases are, and this isn't updated for some reason, it's only up to yesterday, but our baseline was here at the $7,600 mark, right? And if we break through the baselines, then those are good entry points for us to get into whatever coin that we're evaluating on this chart. So that being said, since we've broken through this trend line and we're still way below, and we have been for a while, but below this 1 week trading average, this is a good entry point in my mind. I may start doing some averaging in starting here today, and then our next support level would be in here at about this $7,000 point. So I'm going to take a look at that over the day. I may do a little in here and a little, see if we hit this 7,000. Do a little bit more in there. If we break through that, our next support level is where we ended up back in December at that $6,500. So, we talked about it before. Could we get down that low? Yeah, we could. We could. But typically on Mondays we see a rebound. So unless we hit that tonight, I don't see us hitting it tomorrow. That's just, again, my personal opinion, and that's, kind of how I'm looking at it. So now let's get through the rest of the coins real quick. Obviously, with Bitcoin being down, and let's take a look at CoinMarketCap. Okay. Oops. When I first started charting these 10 out, we were sitting at $311 billion, and we've dropped down in that time, call it about an hour or two, down to $279 billion. So we lost quite a bit in the market. And against USD, there's just nothing going on, okay, against the dollar. There's nothing going on really against Bitcoin. We have some activity if we look at how coins are responding in the Ethereum pairs. You can see there's some action happening. And so, if that's where I'm taking my trades right now on Profit Trailer, and I'll show you that at the end here. So that's where we're at on CoinMarketCap. Let's get back to the coins. So Quantum, we are sitting here at this support level of 0.0015 Satoshis, and if we bounce back off of that and break that 1 week, then we'd be looking good. But we're not seeing much on the MACD, so consider this one to be out of the picture for now. Nano, it's a relatively new coin, so you kind of have to pick and choose where you're looking at charting this, but it looks like we're going to sit here at this support level and test that out before we can make a determination on where Nano sits. The next one, Binance Coin. You can see we had a nice little run up here. This, I think, is when they announced that they were going to do their own blockchain, and we've got a flag happening here, right? So this theoretically should continue to go up. Binance is another coin that I may look at putting some money into for a couple of reasons. One, I do trade on Binance, so I could trade against Binance pairs and save on some fees. The other is I like this chart and the way it's shaping up. With this kind of action going on, we should see it maybe bounce off of that 1 week a little bit and then continue to go up and test these highs that we had in there. Let's look at Zcash. Zcash, it's broken through here. It just doesn't look pretty, does it? Look at all this action. I'd have to say hold off on Zcash right now, or at least for me, I'm going to hold off on Zcash right now. If we look at the next one, Icon, which is painful for me because I have so much of it, just nothing positive happening there. I'm going to be holding that coin for quite a while, I think, unfortunately. Okay, we talked about this before. Digix DAO. It did a run up there and it's coming back down. Thank goodness. But I'm just going to do this. Just a big no. 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 Make that red. No. We're not doing this coin. Why would we pay over $400 or whatever the price is sitting at right now for $40 in gold? It just doesn't make sense. We already talked about it. I'm not a professional advisor. I've told you before, don't take my word for it alone. Do your own research. But again, this coin just does not make any sense to me on why you buy a gram at $40 of gold for $400. Doesn't make sense. Okay, Populous. We are sitting, trending, or trading on this baseline for a long time. This is right here back in February, end of February. So it's just flatlined for a long, long time. We need to see some momentum happen here and break out through this 1 week. Can I zoom in on that? Break out through this 1 week, and every time we do, we just come right back to it. So until this makes a significant move and we get some MACD indications in here that something's going to happen, and even back here where we didn't see much movement in it. So Populous is not a coin that I'm interested in getting into right now, not for the medium term anyway, short term, medium term, or long term. Next coin, Bytecoin. We had that nice run up in here, and along with all the other coins, we have now gone on a downward trend and broken through this support level here. So the next one that we'd be looking at is somewhere in this range, which would be what would that look like? Somewhere around 25%, right? That we could continue to move down. So. Oops, sorry about that. So Bytecoin, not something I'm looking at right now. Steam, if we take a look at Steam, we are breaking through this support level here, and so now we'll start testing in this area right here. The one thing about Steam that I'm going to keep my eye on is because DTube runs off the Steam platform, and if you haven't heard about DTube, it's kind of like the unregulated YouTube. And with YouTube and Google and all these guys coming out saying that they're not going to do crypto advertisements anymore, which is different than what we're doing here, which is looking at these coins. I'm not advertising anything, but they have banned crypto advertisements. So that could theoretically change the landscape of YouTube versus DTube, since DTube has nobody regulating it, and so you can put up anything that you want. They're not going to shut you down. It's run off the Steam platform, so that could fuel Steam if for some reason the YouTube, Google platform start saying that you can't do anything on cryptos. Right now it's just on advertising, which I think is a good thing because you have a lot of people out there promoting their ICOs, and they may not be the most trustworthy folks out there. So in many ways I agree with that. If it starts filtering into stuff that we're doing, then it's just a no-brainer that D2 would be the place to go to get your information. That runs off the Steam platform, and then we could see this really start taking off. That's a long shot, a lot of stuff there, but just so you know. And then waves, our final one. We're basically trading sideways here. We did see a dip, and we're going to test this level down in here. We were flatlining against the 1 week trading average and then dropped below it. So that's not a great indication. But it wouldn't take much to get this back up over that 1 week, and then what we'd have to see is it break through this support here, and maybe we could start trailing back up. Okay, so let's take a look real quick at my profit trailer. I set this up last night. We were going through the charts and looking at IOTA and how it was performing, and that was against Bitcoin. Then when I went back and looked, and you saw the charts on Ethereum, where there's a lot of those coins that are performing well against Ethereum, I thought I'd take a look at IOTA a little bit closer and try it on Ethereum. What we talked about was buying manually and selling on Profit Trailer. So that's the way I have this set up. Don't look at these pairs because those were actually set up on Cryptohopper, and it's just tracking that I got those in there. You can see that nothing, I haven't set my my price points in there, and there's no reason to because it's tracking it against Ethereum when I actually bought it against Bitcoin. So anyway, this is the one that I bought last night, IOTA. You can see right now, and so I've got this in sell only mode to sell IOTA. It's got a trailing profit, I think, of 0.25%. I set it up at 3% originally, and it's way surpassed that. Already overnight I've got averaging a 13% gain. So if that starts trailing down, theoretically it should sell it off, and I should make some money off of that. So that was just a little test, and we'll continue to go with that test, and I'll show you what's going on with it. Based upon that one coin right now, and I'll probably look at buying something else today. I'm pretty happy with what that may do. Cryptohopper, if we go back to that, this is my shame page, and again, just to back myself up, these are not my settings that I used. I should have done my own. 36% is a lot of money, and I'm just not willing to give it up. And quite frankly, I'm happy with these coins, so I'm happy holding them long term. I obviously bought them hoping to get some short-term profits off of them, but I'm also equally as happy as just to hold them, and when we get back into a bull market, taking the profits as they come. ADA, EOS, Lisk, Nano. I'm not unhappy with these coins. So the only one that maybe I shouldn't have in here, that I may just have to do a sell on or DCA to try and get some money out of it is Tron. But other than that, I'm happy with the rest of these coins and holding them. I'm just not happy with having to hold them for as long as I have, and even longer. Anyway, that's the wrap up. I hope that you got something out of this. Please like, please subscribe. I really appreciate it. Let's keep this community growing and moving. Hopefully got some benefit out of this, and we'll look at some more coins tomorrow.